All right, what's going on, class? It is your professor, Dr. Jace Austin, and the first thing I'm going to do, because I am getting fleshed out, is I'm going to turn that light off behind me. Sorry about that. Pause. Much better. Okay, it's Dr. Jace, and welcome to week number 13. That's right, week number 13 of your 7314 class reference sources and services. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace Austin, and we're doing a little check-in video. This one's optional. You can watch it. You don't have to. But this check-in video, we're just going to say a few things, bring a few things up, and then we are going to explore what I think is a very underutilized database that a lot of public and academic libraries have. So this will be useful for a lot of you, whether you're going into public or academic. This one's going to be quick. The video that I posted last week, as you all know, was from the spring, actually, because I had a recording error with my microphone. I have done a little bit of a fail-safe on the microphone issue this time, so we should have sound, and sound sounds very, very good. So let's do a few housekeeping things first. First of all, let me just call this what it is. So you all, for the most part, have already done your discussion number 6, which was due on, that's weird. I think I wanted it to be due on the 10th, but it was due on the 11th. Either way, and I'm going to be reading those and grading those tomorrow, which will be Wednesday the 13th. However, if you have not responded to that prompt, go ahead and do so. I will, like I said, I'll be grading those on Wednesday, recording grades on Wednesday. But I'm going to give y'all really until Friday as far as if you, just a little bit of a grace period. If you forgot to, like if it slipped your mind to do that particular discussion post because you, have not had one in a while, then it is perfectly fine to, I'll give you till Friday. If you email me and just say, hey, Dr. Jace, I forgot about the discussion, but I just did it. And if you do that by Friday, I will still award you full credit. However, it looks like almost everyone did it. There are only a few names that appear to be missing. I'm not going to call anybody out, but hopefully you know who you are and hopefully you can get on that. I got a very good question. I've already posted an announcement about this, so I'm going to make this very quick. But I got a very good question from Elisa as far as do you have to turn anything related to the LibGuide in within the Canvas interface, or if I'm just going into the folder to grade. I am just going into the folder to grade. However, if you would like to just, what my students in my previous iterations of this course have been doing was they were still, because they didn't want Canvas to be showing this missing or incomplete status on their assignment. So they went on ahead and still put the link to their LibGuide in the discussion, in the submission interface for the LibGuide assignment, and that way they still don't have this, like incomplete thing going on with Canvas. Now, don't worry about that. If Canvas says that your assignment for the LibGuide is incomplete, but I see it in the folder, you're gonna be fine. Now, I also got a question from Candy that I think was a good question. She said, what type of recording software do you recommend? I use Screencast-O-Matic, and that's what I recommend. It is safe. It has, I've used it now on 3 different computers. It has not given me any viruses or any other issues. It is free. The free version of Screencast-O-Matic does not let you record over 15 minutes. However, you should not be recording over 15 minutes anyway, so there's that. So that's a little bit of housekeeping. We are at 5 minutes. We are going to try to keep this under 20 minutes, especially since that video that I posted last week was an hour. So let's go ahead and just look at this underutilized source that I was telling you about, which is Learning Express Library. I want to show you all what it can do because a lot of librarians just don't really even think to recommend this, and it can be very helpful to particular patrons. So let's go for it. Oh yeah, that's right. Also, the database, the database discussion prompt is due on the 22nd. So there have been a few of you who have already done this. But don't forget to do it. And that's a way to familiarize yourself with some of these different databases that we use in the field. Okay, so now we are going to go over to Learning Express Library. We're just going to browse around this so you can see what it does. I will not show you every feature because, again, as I've said before, you can't really teach reference the way students want because it would be very time consuming. It would probably take me about 3 hours to take you all around Learning Express Library and show you everything that it has to offer. So what you need to do is if you're really interested in learning more about it, what you need to do is some independent research. But what I can do is show you that it exists, give you a brief overview, and that way I'm talking for less than 30 minutes. And that way there can be some self-directed learning. But this is one that is underutilized, and I think that's a shame because everyone that has been patient enough as far as patrons over the years to let me show them Learning Express Library has really, really enjoyed it. So again, let's go ahead and get into that. All right, let's see. Now, I don't know where my login information for this particular database is, so we're just going to be without that. I mean, I have what you saw was me logging into it, but I also have an account within Learning Express Library. You can create the accounts in Learning Express Library for free. And so I have one, but I can't find so if I had it, what I could do is I would be able to do this sign in, register thing and just go ahead from there. But I can't do that because I don't have the login information and it's very late. And so I won't be able to get it quite yet. But yeah, let's take a look. So basically what Learning Express Library can be used for is it can be used for taking practice SAT tests. It can be used for learning computer skills. There are a whole lot of different things that you can do with Learning Express Library. And one thing that you won't see in the literature, you just have to have some experience, like I have some experience. I'm an old man, so I've seen a few things in my day. And one thing that I've seen in my day and one thing that I know, even though you won't see this if you Google it, so you're kind of getting a little bit of guidance from somebody who's actually been in the field for a while. One thing that can be said about these SAT books and GRE books and all these different things is that when they are held at public libraries, they go missing quite often. Public libraries tend to get like those SAT booklets like every single year, and they get checked out and they don't come back. So Learning Express Library provides you with an alternative that will allow you to link your patrons up with a resource that can give them SAT prep skills, SAT practice tests, so forth and so on. So let's browse around a little bit, and I encourage you to create your free account either with Mizzou or with your local public library or both, you know. No limits! So let's do this. Okay, so here you are with the overview page, and as you can see, you've got career prep. You've got some things for K-12, college admissions. The school center, again, is for K-12. Computer literacy. This is a Spanish language resource, which I've never gone into. My younger brother, who is half Dominican, can go into that and utilize it because he is fluent in Spanish. In fact, Spanish was his first language, but I am not so fortunate. So let's take a look at these. With the next 10 minutes or so, let's just go around and just take a very, very short look at these. First of all, when you're actually on the job, you are probably going to just search. So if somebody says, hey, SATs are coming up, can you link me up with some resources? Bada bing. You're probably not going to, even though you can go to the college admissions test preparation field here, you can also type in SAT, click search, and what you will see are these various categories. So you have tests, tutorials, ebooks, computer courses, articles, flashcards. Now, again, I'm not signing in, so I'm not actually going to be taking these tests. However, what you can do, you uncheck these things you don't want, bada bing. Now what we have are SAT practice tests. Now, some of you may probably want me to just go in and be like, you know, just show you around. But an SAT practice test is an SAT practice test. If you took the SAT, and you probably did at some point in your life, then I'm not showing you anything new if I go into the practice test. The practice test just is what it is. You can go in there, just take it, and, you know, there are multiple practice tests for the SAT. So, and this will also, when you create your account, which again is free, it will track your progress. So you'll get a score, but you know, you can improve and things like that. And this, once you have an account, it'll keep track of your progress and what you've been doing. So you've got the practice test, and I'm going to get rid of that right there. I'm going to click the tutorials. And again, these tutorials, again, I would have to register to kind of show them to you, but just trust me when I say taking these tutorials for some students can be very beneficial, and you will get a little description of the tutorial here, and so that can be very useful for you. Ebooks, these are very good. So what you can do, except they're all over the place, these are not, sorry about that, guys. That is the drawback. Showing you in real time that databases are never perfect. The drawback to searching this way is that things will get in there that you might not want in there. Border Patrol exam, that's great if you want to be in the Border Patrol State Trooper exam. That's great if you want to be a state trooper, but if you're a high school student wishing to take the SAT, maybe that state trooper exam is not that great. Let's see if we can, come on, man. There are, yeah, so I am completely underwhelmed. I know that there are tutorial ebooks that you can access, but they have not popped up here the way that I wish they would have. Computer courses, that is also not useful. But what you'll be doing, again, what you'll be doing on the job a lot is you are going to be just starting out with free-form searches if you've got a patron in front of you, until you get to the point where you are so comfortable with the database that you will start exploring in other ways. Now, as you saw, we had a lot of irrelevant things popping up in our regular search. So what you can do, college admissions test preparation. Go in there and click prepare for your SAT test. Now things might actually be a little more on topic. So what you'll see here, this is at, which we don't want. Let's get back to the SAT. And so for the SAT, you'll see tutorials and all of these different subjects, and you'll also see reading tests and things of that nature There's also one math practice ebook. So I think that they used to have more. Actually, I don't even think. I know that there used to be more ebooks for the SAT practice than that. And maybe what has happened there is their licensing agreement for those ebooks has run out. Databases do change. They don't change too often to the point where you're going to stress yourself out trying to keep up, but they do change. Okay. Now, unfortunately, what I don't like is that they don't. So as you can see, they've got ACT, SAT, AP tests, and such. But their GRE stuff for the graduate level just isn't as well organized. And I really wish that they would put in a section for the GRE, because those GRE books go missing too. But yeah, if you need to give somebody some help with GRE, then what you might have to do is search GRE this way. Okay. And you'll see some practice tests and things of that nature for the GRE as well. Now, I'm going to go back home and we are going to look at some of these other things. So computer skills is another very underutilized one. So the getting started with your computer, usually if somebody is actually using, if they're actually already using LearnXpress Library, then they're not going to need a lot of help or reinforcement in that. Same with starting with the internet. But if you will get all kinds in the public library. So yes, you will get people who need extra help with just using the internet or extra help with just basic getting started with the computer. So no, in the academic libraries, you probably aren't going to encounter that as much, but who knows? But what really is the lion's share here, and I'm going to go back. Well, I didn't mean to go back that far. But the popular software tools, this is so underutilized, folks. Now, I can't take these again unless I'm actually logged in, but look at this. So now, unfortunately, these are old, 2013 and such. But for some of these, yes, you've got the 2016, and what you can do, and especially for Excel, because who really knows how to use Excel? But you know what you can do is they have these modules, so and they will give you estimated time of completion. So basic Excel skills, 4 hours to get through the module. Once you get advanced, take about 6 hours to do the advanced one for 2016. And this can be very helpful, especially if especially for Excel. Some of you, if you have time, a lot of us just don't have much time on our hands. I know I don't. But if you do have the time, then, you know, Excel can be something that you might want to learn because, hey, and the other thing that I wanted to show you, I don't know exactly how old these Adobe products are, but again, Learn Computer Graphics and Illustration. You've got Photoshop and Illustrator modules as well. So these can be very underutilized, and these are very good for self-directed learning. This is for the not the GRE, but rather the GED. So this can help you with some of your GED things. But if you have K-12 students, then the school center is probably where you want to go. Elementary, middle, high school, and we'll just go into middle school real quick. So you can see all these things for, you know, different sorts of improvement. Mathematics. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I am just, I just got back from the gym and it wore me out, y'all. So, but you can get these practices for math, for English, and for social studies with middle school. I think in high school you even have science modules. Let me make sure though. Yep. So you've got those science modules down there, and so these are good for students who need some extra practice and reinforcement. And then of course, and actually finally, because I didn't know I was going to take that much time. So we're going to go a little bit over 20 minutes, but not too bad. But the build a resume and cover letter, that is also something that you all might want to check out because, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm also on the admissions committee for CISL, so I review applications for students who want to be here. And I have seen some resumes that were just not that great. No one specifically, I'm just saying bad resumes, and I don't have the greatest resume either if you look at resume and CV best practices. But the one thing I don't want y'all to do, because y'all are in professional school and soon will be out looking for jobs, and a lot of library jobs, especially academic library jobs, do require cover letters. So this is also a great way, just look at these features for great resumes and great cover letters. You might learn something new, and it might improve the job application materials that you submit. So let's definitely try to keep this under 22 minutes. If you want to learn more about Learning Express Library, Mizzou does offer it. I went through the UMKC interface for it, but Mizzou has it, and most public libraries that I know of at least have it as well. So jump in, check it out, learn it, and recommend it to your friends. I mean, every now and then I have a friend who is on Facebook talking about, well, does anybody know of a good GRE resource for me to use because I want to go to grad school? And I point them to Learning Express Library, and I tell them it's free. And they can be pretty happy about that. So this is a good one to learn, and it's a good one to tell your friends about. With that said, I'm Dr. Jace, and everyone in here I hope will earn the ACE. And that's pretty much it for me. But I am out. See you next week.